Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Obviously, it's been a while. So the last video on the channel was about disaster striking on a model where I'd completely destroyed the cylinder crossheads. Yeah, I'm not sure whether that kit's recoverable or not. I have some replacement parts that will hopefully allow me to get it back on track, but that was months ago now, and I have done essentially no modelling since. Partly because I was a little disheartened by having destroyed the kit, and secondly, numerous life things got in the way. But I'm hoping to get back to do some more modelling. And this arrived in the post just now, and is modelling related, and I'm really excited about it. And I thought, rather than just opening it, I would do a little unboxing show and tell. So, what's in here? Well, I've opened the packet and had a look to figure out what it was, because it was delivered and I didn't know quite what the delivery was. But now I know what's in it. I thought I'd wait and share the kind of the fun with you of putting it together. So this is from a Kickstarter that was funded, I think, over a year ago now. So I just kind of forgotten it was, well, I hadn't forgotten it was coming, but I didn't know exactly when it was arriving. And it is definitely going to be modelling related. I'm going to use it for modelling. And yeah, I'm really excited. So let's open it up and we'll see what exactly is in here. Now, as I say, it's a Kickstarter. And although I know what the main item is, I can't actually remember what I ordered for some of the add-on parts. So there'll be possibly a bit of surprise in here for me as well. So what we got? Well, if anybody's been following Kickstarter, you might already know what it is from the logo. But we'll get all the bits out, and I think that's everything. Yeah. So what is in here is a fractal vise. Now, if you've not seen what a fractal vise is before, they're really interesting looking things. I saw one on a Adam Savage video a few years ago. He had a huge one that he was refining and using, and yeah, there was no way I was ever going to be able to afford, store or use one the size he has. But this was for a small desktop version that showed up on Kickstarter. So I believe this is the main box. So we'll open this first, and then we'll come to all the little add-on parts in a bit. So first up, I mean, I know it's a Kickstarter, but this is some lovely looking packaging. And as I say, I haven't even got into the thing itself yet. So MetMo is the company. Based in Leeds, so not far from where I live. So let's have a look. So we have instructions. So yeah, MetMo Fractal Vise, and you'll see what a fractal vise is in a minute if you've not seen one. But this shows me obviously what I'm going to have to do to put it together. So let's have a look. So here we go. So here's the base unit. So this is the standard kind of vise part to move the jaws back and forwards. We have the actual jaws themselves and a little box of bits, and there's a bag with an Allen key in. So get rid of the box out of the way, open the Allen key up because I'm going to need that, I think. Right, so then here are the jaws. So the two sets of jaws, normally on a vise obviously you have two jaws that lock against each other to hold things. But these are fractal jaws, and the idea being that on one of the jaws, these things can all freely rotate. And what that means is that you can hold really strange shaped objects. So for example, bottle, which is curved on both sides and things, you can get it to grip perfectly, which you'd really struggle on a normal vise. So that's the idea. It's for holding really odd shaped things. And if you've seen videos on this channel before, you've seen me trying to hold weird things like the castings for some of the locomotive bodies that I've changed. There's some of the Thomas and Friends narrow gauge ones that I've changed into their real life counterparts. Trying to do things like drill out the chimney or mill off the cast coal loads. Holding them on my Unimat 3 lathe set up as a mill is a nightmare, because you can't, there's nothing to grab hold of. There's no straight sides to grab hold of with the vise, so you end up either potentially risking damaging the casting or not having it held firmly while you're trying to mill. So the plan, for me at least, is to figure out, this will be useful just for holding things in general. It's quite nice and weighty, so I can put it down on the desk and work on stuff while it's being held. but I'm also hoping to figure out if I can mount it to the Unimat. I have 3. I haven't figured that out yet. Yeah, it may just be that I have to hold it literally in the vise on the Unimat and then do it. But we shall see. Anyway, let's get this thing put together so we can actually see it working rather than me just holding. So if I open up my box of bits, oh, more Allen keys and more screws and things. Right, so what have I got here? Tiny little, no idea what those are. Right, anyway, so use the 4 screws to attach the fractal jaws to the 4 outermost holes for the standard setup. Right, outermost holes, so that's going on there. So let's put that through there, and here we see. So let's just, I expected these to be kind of standard hex head bolts, but they're not. They're kind of weird star-shaped ones, hence the Allen key is this kind of star-shaped end. But we won't get these locked in here first. That was nicely tight. That was nice and tight. So that's the fixed jaw end. Let's put this on here with the other set of keys, the other set of bolts. Sorry. Clamp that one in. And this one. Sorry if my hands are in the way. It's tricky to do them up under the camera without getting my hand in the way. Right, let's make sure that's nicely locked in tight. So I assume some of the other Allen keys are for taking it apart further. I know that some of the extra bits can be, some of these, the knurled handle and things can be removed. But anyway, now we have it all together, so we can see vice nicely unwinds. It's really nice action on it. It rotates really nicely. Yeah, so let's undo it and let's have a look at this bottle that I had before. No, let's get it out of bed. So you can see they did do a longer version with longer bars, but it was a bit more expensive and I didn't think I'd need it. This is going to be big enough, I think, for most of the things that I want to hold. If we think about most of the castings I have and things like that, they're you know, we're talking usually for the 4mm to the foot scale, so they're not ginormous. So yeah, so there we go, nicely held. And as I say, you can see that each of these jaws has moved slightly round to give you the best kind of fit against the bottle without having to squeeze it, which you would obviously wouldn't get with flat jaws. So I don't know what else is in this bag and what these things are. Let's have a look. Wondering if they're covers for the screws. I can't see anything on the instructions. I might have to actually look at the first time assembling it. There's a QR code link I see. Yeah, not quite sure, to be honest. Oh, I don't want to lose them though. Well, they've got screw threads on them, so they go somewhere. Yeah, not sure. I will look those up. Then maybe I'll put a link in the description to the setup instructions. Obviously, I'm not going to show you those while I'm doing it because that's a bit pointless. But yeah, in fact, I could do it now, couldn't I? We could do it on the phone. Let's do it together. Much more interesting. QR code. Let's just scan this. See what we get. What we get is a first time setting up video, which obviously I don't want to play. It's somebody else's video. I don't want to play that now. But I'll watch that and yeah. In fact, let me watch that. We'll come back and we'll figure out, and then I'll know what all the parts are for. Okay, so it turns out, having now just watched the video, the video covers nothing more than what I've just done, so I don't actually know what these are for. They've got screw threads on the outside and hex head holes on the inside for one of the Allen keys. So I'm assuming they're for filling in these little holes on the base of the vise if you're not using them. Not quite sure why. Yeah. Don't know yet. Anyway, I'll see if I can find more instructions when I actually start playing with it in for real. But that's the vise, and as I say, it's a lovely thing. It's nice and heavy and weighty. It's got this little rubbery anti-slip thing on the bottom, so when you put it down, it's not really moving around too much on the desk. So as I say, I can imagine using it not just for on the mill for holding things, but for holding things just while I'm, you know, working on them. So if I want to, like, I don't know, drill holes by hand into something, or I want to probably not painting, but if you're trying to hold it so that you can work on things, then I can imagine this would be really, really helpful. Yeah, and as I say, it's just a lovely machined piece. So let's have a look what else I bought, because I can't remember and I have no idea what's in these boxes. So I think I know what's in these because they weigh almost nothing. Yeah, so what I bought here, and I think this box is the same if I remember rightly, these are I think 3D printed nylon replacement parts for the outer jaws. The idea being these are much softer, so if you're wanting to clamp something that would damage, you can use these, which they'll probably give, there's a bit of flex in giving them, and they're also not, you know, they're not metal, they're not going to slam into other things. So that's what those are, and as I say, there's four for each of these pieces. And I think there was 2 sets of these. I'm guessing they break, so I think they came as 2 sets. Yeah, there we go. So I'm guessing, yeah, if you ever tighten, obviously you're going to break these before you break the part, whereas with this you could easily just you just snap the part. So what's in here though? I can't remember. Oh, vertical jaws. There we go. Yeah. So it allows you to flip them on their side, I think, and hold things the other way on. Yeah. So there we go, that's the instructions. No idea how these fit yet, but oh yeah, I see. So the whole point is you're going to bolt these pieces to the base, but then take the metal jaws out of there and slot them in there, so that they would literally be it would be like that way up, and they would move that way. Which is great. Yeah, love that. And that actually might make clamping easier. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, so that's in there. Yeah. So the other thing now is, as I say, I need to work out how these things actually come apart, which I don't know yet. So let's have a look, see if we can figure that out together, shall we? Oops. Yeah, that did come under. So these undo, that's nice and easy. Right. So it says quick release jaw pins. Not quite sure how quick release they are, but these are obviously they've got a hex head in the middle. Is that the right one? It's a bit thin. There we go. It says quick release. I'm not quite sure how quick a release it is, but let's get it out. There we go. And then that obviously then just slides off, and that allows me to put on one of the other ones. How does this go on then? So this thing goes on like that, and we drop that at the bottom. There we go. Let me just Oh, they're quite quick, I suppose. There we go. So that's it. We've swapped one of the steel jaws for an iron jaw. That was nice and straightforward. We'll put that back, and I might actually try and fit the vertical jaws so I can have a look what that looks like. Because I see what it means by quick. They are actually quite quick to release these, because the thread is only holding, if you look at the pin, the thread's only on the bottom bit, so it's just screwed into the bottom, which means it falls out easily. Now, apologies, there's somebody at the door, wait a while. Apologies about that. Yeah, delivery order to the door. Right, so let's have a look. Where were we? I was going to fit this to the, oh yeah, I'm going to fit the vertical jaws and have a look, but I'm just going to put this pin in back in first. But as you can see, everything is just really nicely machined and it all fits well. And I'm guessing it's going to be like any other well-designed tool. If it's looked after, it's going to last an awfully long time, and be one of those kind of tools that you that I keep and make a lot of use of. Yeah, let's have a look. Oh. So it's coming out nice and easily. There we go. So normal. So here we go. So you can see these are the different jaws. So the normal flat ones, and these vertical ones. So let's put it on here. Put the pin in. And just tighten that down. Really goes in really nicely. So let's do the other one as well. That's the long bolts out. Obviously, it's going to need shorter bolts for these because the block isn't as deep. Let's have a look. This one will come out nice and straightforwardly. There we go. That's the other jaw out. The vertical jaw slots nicely on. Pin goes back in. Oh no, pin goes in from this side. So I don't think they have a way up as such, but obviously the holes in the block are only tapped on one side. So these quick release pins do only go in from one direction. Right, there we go. So again, now this box up here has 4 shorter pins to attach the base. Whoops, let's get that screwed down. Get the glue out of the way again. Don't need that. Nearly there. Let's get the screw out. That one? No, it's not as tight as I thought it was. There we go. There we go. And as you can see, you have to kind of make sure the jaws are mostly parallel if you're just clamping them shut, because otherwise they do just kind of move against each other. There you go. There we go, vertical version. And that's good, because now we can clamp, for instance, we can go back to clamping this bottle of glue again. If I can get it. Oh no, I'm going to get that way around. And then could drill into the sides here, which is probably as useful as being able to do it the other way. So that's really good. And again, that will mean I can set it up for clamping in different orientations depending on what I'm trying to hold. So I'm glad I bought those. That would definitely make, that's definitely going to make life life a lot easier. Yeah, I like that. And I think, so it says as well, well, I've got it here. Ah, yes, there we go. One of the things I'd noticed was that I couldn't turn the bar while it was on the desk. But the Tommy bar comes out, so I can just, if I want, have oh yeah, even better, I think. So I don't think that's going to fit, no. But so I've taken the Tommy bar out, which is good, but can you see that end is hexagonal? So somewhere, in fact here, there we go, I do have an Allen key that fits. So that's actually really good, because in theory it means I've got much longer reach if I need to. I've got it bolted to something and I can still tighten it up without the Tommy bar being in the way, because I think that would definitely be a bit of a pain to do if I've got it mounted in the mill or something. Having it without the Tommy bar is probably going to be easier. I have a feeling that yeah, I have a feeling that it will just make it easier to use. Having that hole in the end is good. Just happened to be one of the random ones that was on my desk, but it's nice to know it fits, which is good. So yeah, so really liking that. As I say, I've waited a while for it. It wasn't cheap. I don't know whether they still have any more. I'm assuming that they're going to continue making them for sale generally now. Certainly once they've fulfilled the Kickstarter. There was quite a lot of orders on the Kickstarter. I was backer number 2000 and something. And they have been shipping them out in backer order. So if you've ordered one, depending where you are, you may already have it. If not, yours is on its way. But hopefully they'll continue selling them, making them for people who weren't part of the Kickstarter. I know there was some other options that I didn't buy. So there's a kind of ball-headed joint adapter thing. There's a work tray that it will bolt to, but I decided I didn't need that. There are some brass jaws again, so that they're a bit softer than the steel ones. I went for the nylon ones because they were just generally cheaper. And as I say, it was already expensive. I think the whole thing came to about 150 quid. I mean, it's not expensive for machining tools. You know, if you're buying quality parts for the Unimat or something, you can easily run to similar silly money. But yeah, I think money well spent, and I think it's an it's just an interesting vice as well. If nothing else, it's almost like an interesting desk toy. Playing with these parts and watching them kind of move independently. To grip the things the best way, and it means you can also hold things without lots and lots of force, because of course it molds to the shape, so you're not having to grip it really tight so it doesn't slip, which probably means less damage to fragile parts. So other than not really knowing what these tiny little things are for, as I said, I think they're probably for going in these holes. I'm just not quite sure why you would need them to. I suppose it stops things falling into the holes and blocking the bars from moving. It can be about the only thing I can think of, because obviously you wouldn't be able to close the vise up if those holes get blocked. But yeah, we'll see. I'll figure it out, and hopefully, I'm guessing you'll probably see this in videos in the future when I actually get back to doing some modelling and I'm actually doing milling parts or whatever, or holding things. I think it's going to, you know, you'll have seen the little desktop vise from my Unimat in a number of videos where it's done sterling work. But if I can figure out a good way of mounting this on the Unimat, then I think this is likely to take over the job of that. Yeah, it's going to be really good. As I said, I just need to figure out how to mount it. As I say, there are screws on the bottom, and this plate, I believe, comes off. So what I might have to do at some point is take it apart and then figure out whether there's a sensible way I can mount it to the Unimat. Either with, because I'm not sure whether I can just mount this in the vise on the Unimat. It's going to end up with height issues and things. But but we'll see. Certainly for milling, that'll be right for milling, but I wouldn't be able to do anything clever with it. For just issues with how it works on the slide and that kind of things. But we'll get there. And as I say, if not, just, you know, I need to be able to clamp it so I can use the mill is the point. But for everyday hand drilling and stuff, it's going to be fine as it is. Yeah, I will figure something out. That may be a project in its own right of working out how to mount it. But for now, I'm really happy with it. I hope you found it interesting. Glad to be back doing a little bit of modelling related work, even if it's not actually building anything yet. And hopefully there will be another video before the next, you know, however many months it is since I did the last one. I promise I will try and get back to doing a little bit more and having a little bit more enthusiasm for it. As I say, I've not been away from railways altogether. I've been doing a lot of research on another topic that may go into a book eventually. I just haven't been doing the modelling. As I say, I got a little disheartened, but we will hopefully fix that, and I will be back with some more videos. But thanks for watching, and yeah, make sure that the subscribe button's down here, and then you won't miss when I actually do get round to another video. But for now, that's the MetMo Fractal Vice. Yeah, really happy with it. Kickstarter projects don't always turn out perfectly. I've been burnt in one before, but this one definitely a winner. Thanks to MetMo for this. It's brilliant. Right, see you in the next video. Bye.